I don't even know if this thing is on. Can you guys hear me? I guess we're live. So, um, I've always wanted to go live. I don't know how this is going to go. I don't even know if you can see me. There we go. Basically, I want to answer the comments live. Yeah, Cheddar Cheesehead. I love that name. What's up, Romatic? Andrew Mills. Welcome. It's my first time live. If any of you guys have any type of questions or anything, basically, I don't have a lot of time to like do everything on YouTube. So I really want to answer everybody's question. So I figured since when I do it, I kind of do it all at once, like once a week. And I figured I'd go live and answer anything, that you guys want to know live, or just shoot the shit with you guys. And I decided to just start my first one late. Hopefully, everybody's sleeping and no one's on here watching. uh, hey, Northwest Missouri, Billy. Hey, I got some friends in Missouri. He's actually got a YouTube channel. It's the Resurrector. Um, Friend of the family, long time. The guy's a pastor. Pretty cool channel. He's actually rebuilding a boat. Did an awesome job. Pulled the damn thing out of the bushes, dude. There was like a tree growing through it. Pretty cool stuff. So anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and answer some of the questions where they're asking questions about the machines or specific things, not just like, hey, great video. I appreciate anybody that leaves a comment, and spends time and watches one of the videos. But what I'm going to do here, and just bear with me, this is my first time. I have no idea how none of this is working, and I'm using two computers because I don't know how to do this on the same computer. And I'd like for you guys to actually see what I'm doing because I want to show you some of the videos because people were asking a lot of questions about the granulator and like the recovery and stuff like that. When I was running that granulator, I just bought it, really didn't know nothing about it. And I was just watching gold mining videos, man. And I'm like, man, I wonder if I can just do this. I took a hose and a piece of aluminum and I stuck a metal grate down in the aluminum, like a piece of expanded metal. And I dropped it in there and I hosed it down. And I was like, wow, that's cool. But it was getting under the expanded metal. So immediately I was like, well, the expanded metal's not going to work. What else do I got? And I went with diamond plate. And it worked really, really good. Let me see what's going on over here. Sorry, like, there's a lot going on here. What's your background? You seem to be very creative and knowledgeable with things you build. I pretty much been on my own since I was like 14, dude. I've done everything from plumbing, electrical, building houses from the ground up. Um, everything, dude. Framing houses with wood up in New Jersey. Down here, I did it with block. I cut concrete. Mainly, the longest job I've ever held in my life, which was like maybe 8 or 9 years, was cutting concrete. I worked for the second largest concrete cutting company in the whole country. Like, not like just to cut a slab or something like that. Um, like the jobs that we did, it'd be like Cape Canaveral. We cut the launch pad for the spaceships. Like when you need 15 feet of concrete, reinforced concrete, cut big old chunks the size of trucks, you'd call us in and we have special machines that we drill holes and pull wire through and wire saw and cut down bridges and stuff like that. Heavy demolition, big stuff, 500-ton cranes. Um, I actually hold the record for the company for most hours worked in a week, which was like 93 hours at a nuclear power plant up here in Fort Pierce. Pretty much saved like the thing from going into a meltdown. Oh, let's see what's going over here. Have you seen a copper chopper with a vibrating screen setup? Yeah. There's a guy on YouTube. Oh man, he's got a weird name. He's actually, I'm subscribed to him. Let me see if I can find this thing. He has a setup. An air comm I think would work well with the separation. Yeah, he's got a setup where he's the one that I originally saw his water sluice, and I actually the Australian guy. I don't know if he's Australian. I think he's from the UK. It starts with a C. Hold on, I'll find it on my other computer here. But he did it with the diamond plate. That's where I learned it because I was looking for water sluices in copper. And if you search, there's not many videos, but he's on there and he's using like a beer keg. That's what I love, dude. It looks so like he built it out of scrap, you know? And I'm like the same way, dude. I was like right on that shit. And he built a hydrocyclone out of the beer keg. And wait till you see what I plan on doing, how I'm going to get the copper chops from the bottom of the granulator up into the top of the water sluice. It's going to be crazy and pretty incredible. And then the water sluice itself, where it comes to the first place it's going to drop onto, it's actually going to be like the whole thing's probably going to be maybe 4 or 5 feet long, but it's going to be 4 layers deep in one section. It's going to be crazy. But what I learned from watching the copper, if you watch, I actually want to go over this video and show you what I learned. The shark scrapper was asking me about the recovery. I had talked to some guys that actually have big time, like $500,000 chopping machines that, you know, I would like dream of having. And he was talking about it's like somewhere around 3% they lose in the insulation. It's still, and I noticed it too when I was in the insulation. I cleaned a lot of it, man. I was probably 2%, 1%, if that, because them buckets that I had at the end, it's hard. When I made that video, I didn't even have a YouTube channel, so I wasn't even really thinking about explaining nothing. I just was like an idiot videoing my cool little contraption I made to, you know, mimic the gold mine stuff. What's going on here? You need a place to cut in the country walls together. Yeah, it's expensive down here. I live in West Palm Beach, man. My last warehouse, I had like 27 or 3,000 square feet or something. It was almost $3,000 a month, and I was in there by myself. And when you're out on the road all day and the shop's just sitting there, you know, it's kind of tough. And then COVID hit right at the same time. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to figure something else out here. And I was actually, the whole reason I started YouTube, I've never even put it on the channel. It has nothing to do with scrap, working on my trucks, you know, my car, none of that stuff. It has nothing to do with any of that. It actually has more to do with that milling machine that I got than anything. But it's not machining work. It's actually something I'm going to build. That before I even started recycling, I was going to make that. Let me see. I'm sorry, I'm just rambling here, but I want to see these comments. Cheers. All you guys are in here, thanks for stopping by. The air column. Yeah. Dude, I'll tell you what. I was using an electric leaf blower. It was incredible how easy, if I just washed it from one side to the other, it would blow it out. And I'll tell you what, I watched a guy, he had his granulator set up like mine is, but the back was cut out and he stuck a squirrel fan back there. And this is what I was trying to do, but there wasn't enough room back there for me to get the blower. I was going to put the fan back there and blow air across the back of that. It's like a chute. I actually have a box that goes in that granulator with it's like a V and a suction to vac out whatever you were granulating, the plastic. It was a plastic granulator. And I was actually going to blow the air across that and let the insulation blow further than the copper. There's a video on YouTube. It's hard. Like, you know, sometimes I go down into the deep ends of YouTube and find all kinds of crazy videos. And came across some really cool things. And what I like to do is watch all the videos and then like look at all of them and, you know, the knowledge I have, how can I replicate that, you know, or improve upon it. That's the thing I like to do, and improve upon it and do it like, you know what I'm saying, um, the cheap way, or like the underdog. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I see your $1 million machine. I'm gonna do it with this, and this that has nothing to do with scrapping, but I'm gonna make it do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? For a lot cheaper. And wait till you see how I want to power that whole setup, like where my presses are, and the big press. Wait till you see what I got for that 55-ton press. I might be stuffing a 100-ton cylinder in there that I bought. Did I say that out loud? Anyway, dude, I got these. There's probably going to be about 1,800 of them. Big old, like, fancy globe-looking street lights. I'll take some videos of them tomorrow. Coming that I want to crush them with a press, man, because they're like really odd and big and bulky. I had the little mini jaw out there today, just chomping them up, and then I broke that thing too. You know, I had the little Guatemalan helper on the foot pedal, just was smashing the thing through the glass, and he was hitting the button, and I just kept smashing it through the next one, and we were knocking them out until something locked up somewhere. So I got to look into that. Hold on, let me check these comments because I'm over here rambling. I don't know if I can scroll back up. You guys are over here talking away, and I'm this guy here is talking about a guy in Chicago who bought a granulator plant and the other granulator trash and still making money. Yeah, dude, there's the guy, I think it's called MMLC, Mount Baker Mining and Metal. He was taking the waste from the granulators and running it through his hammer mill setup. But I've talked to that guy on the phone. Wait, I'm going to get one of them hammer mills. Actually, I'm going to build a miniature one first and put it in my setup for doing small. Exactly what I'm about to tell you. He was taking his big hammer mill, running water through it, and then taking the already chopped up, the waste, the plastic, running into a pulp, and then running it through his awesome shaker table, dude. That guy's got some setups out there. But he was recovering all the stuff, dude. And what I plan on building, I have an idea for like an old school stone mill. So what I plan on doing is something towards the end, like if you were looking at video that last before it would go through the screen, I want to run it through like a rotating stone mill so that it goes through there and it's kind of tapered, and it'll just grind it down quick and spit it out the sides, almost like a centrifuge, but it'll be milled down and then run it through another shaker table that's slowed down. And if you go back and watch that video that I was telling you, that's what I was looking for. I'm getting distracted here. You guys got me going 100 different ways. His water sluice went like this. It went and then it opened up. So when it opened up, the water slowed down and it let that copper settle and slowed down the flow. You do that with the lighter copper. And one thing you probably didn't notice in that video with them buckets is each bucket, the outlet was bigger. And it got bigger and bigger, which slowed down the water. And each bucket would catch finer and finer. That last bucket had all the fine stuff in it, Like I'm imagining gold in there. You should have seen that thing. Someone in the comments called it the Franken sluice, which was awesome. And wait till you see the one I'm going to build next is going to be incredible. And I'm going to try to build it out of acrylic. Like I'm trying to find a place that I can get acrylic that's wear resistant, because I don't want to put it on there and it get all scuffed up with the copper rubbing against it. Either real glass or acrylic. But I want to watch it in the hydrocyclone down into my sluice with the 4 layers, and you'll watch it separate as it goes. It'll be pretty cool. Let me see here. What would you recommend as a starter kit for investing in machinery? Jason, a wire stripper, and just buy barrels of copper. Okay, so it's really hard, and I know I made a video on this before. Man, And I know Romatic, I talked to him about this, and he was like, yeah, they were hanging up on me. Yeah, getting electricians as customers is freaking hard, dude. When I started, I sat there with a laptop, a list of customers, man. I mean, pages of them, dude. I had a phone, a fax machine, and a laptop. And I would call, email, fax, whatever you wanted, man. I had people hang up on me, people be rude to me, all kinds of craziness, man. And, they get mad. You're calling, you're not looking for work. And back then, 2008, people were going out of business, man. It was tough. So it was either 50-50. They were pissed you were calling, or they were like, what? You're going to pay me for something I've been throwing away for 20 years? Yeah, come bring me a barrel, dude. Half the time it was like shooting fish in a barrel. I was offering a service that no one was offering. So, and like equipment wise, see, I started out looking for a specific thing. So I don't know. Like if you want to, like, say you want to just go after electricians, you got to look at what they're doing and what type of services they're going to require from you, or that you can offer them. You know what I'm saying? Look at that. Or even not just electricians, look at maintenance companies, or what do you call it? AC companies. I haven't even tried to solicit AC companies yet. And I used to have a couple customers. Like I used to have a lot. I probably have like maybe 10 customers now. I used to have like 120 and run 5 guys picking up scrap all day. And that was just stressful. And not having good guys on your team, people that are just there for a paycheck, they can suck it. And, they wear out your equipment. They don't care if your shit goes into the scrap. You know how many times I found my stuff at the scrap yard? Like, yo, they don't even tell me the stuff is missing. I watch it get dumped out of the steel bin. Oh, yeah, there's my wrench. There's my, one time I found my DeWalt drill in there. They don't care. They won't say nothing. They hide it from you. All kinds of crazy stuff, dude. People on drugs, coming in messed up, drinking, I ain't got time for that. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I don't smoke. Cigarettes, do pills, anything like that. I just work hard, and I don't have time for people's bullshit. You come to work, man. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to deal with it. So. All right, this is one comment. This is why I kind of wanted to do this. This is a comment over here. I'm sorry, what's going over here? Get some knee pads and napkins and start calling around and stopping by warehouse. Knee pads. Or getting customers. Here's the deal. There's something that I offer these people that I'm going to bring onto the channel here soon. It's a whole nother service most people wouldn't even think about. Man, there's so much more stuff I want to do. Once I'm looking for the right location, because I'm going to do more than just scrapping. All kinds of, I got like a whole storage unit full of stuff that needs to be put to work, and I got some awesome ideas. And pretty much, honestly, I wasn't even going to be doing scrapping no more. The original reason I started YouTube, that's what I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? The scrapping's cool. Like I've never made money like scrapping. I remember when I was a kid, I see people running around like Sanford and Son, the trucks. Like, what the hell are these guys doing? You know what I'm saying? And even when I was in demolition, man, you have no idea, dude. I was in demolition for 10 years. You know how much copper wire I cut through in demo? Holy crap, dude. Bridges. In the beginning, I watched all that shit go in the dumpster. All of it. All the copper pipes I put up. Dude, I'd be in a hospital, and I'd mow through all the pipes in the wall or whatever, man. They were demoing all kinds of things, dude. So much copper for years. I didn't even think about it. I knew nothing about recycling. I didn't know you could take like copper and an old copper pipe and get paid a bunch of money. I remember my stepfather as a kid, like taking cans to the junkyard, and I was like, I didn't understand it. What's going on Anyway, all right. Look, here's some of the comments about the granulator maybe that I wanted to get into. He goes, and why the granulator seems like a loud waste of time. Yeah, it is very loud, and that's why I haven't ran it over there under the carport, because I mean that's just ridiculously loud. And I'm going to build something to actually calm that down. I have some great marine insulation I got down here. I got some marine contact. Everything down here is marine, South Florida. So the waste of time. Here's the deal with the granulator and why I got the granulator. I have an amazing wire stripper, but when you get spaghetti wire and you got a mountain of it sitting there, even the way I strip it, which is extremely fast, and me just clipping it and feeding it, my whole time I'm stripping wire, I'm just trying to feed the machine, keep the machine humming. You know what I'm saying? If that thing's not cranking out wire, dude, you're not making money. It's just that they're idling. And that's how I know when people work for me, man, I know if they're making money. You know, if they're making me money, I hear noise, man. The things are humming, shit's banging. You know what I'm saying? Transformers are popping. If not, if there's dead silence, it's like, what are you guys doing? Yeah, Adam Luke about throwing the wire out. Yeah, you have no idea, dude. When I was cutting concrete, like, dude, we were like a specialty company where we had equipment that no one else had, like radio controlled wire saws. Like we could wrap a 300-foot cable around anything, put it on this machine and back it up and just cut through. We used to cut bridge pylons underwater and stuff like that. Crazy stuff. But anyway, look, the granulator. The reason I got the granulator is because I get a lot of that thin wire, and yeah, feeding the granulator is slow, and it's got to sit there and chew it up. Pieces. The granulator chews it up super fast. And I used to strip wire with 3 machines. That 4-roller machine was here. I'd feed the multi-size big core in there. And then the homemade machine I got would sit right next to it. And I would feed nothing but solid core in there, because the solid core wire, when you feed it through that first roller, sometimes it will twist up in there and stop your whole operation and make a mess. The double rollers, it goes through one pass and strips it. And then I would be feeding the granulator. All the short pieces, I would just throw in the granulator and let it do its thing. But my ultimate goal with the granulator is to have a pre-shredder or 2 pre-shredders right above it. Because in the beginning, when I was messing with that thing and the screen was too big, it was kicking out all the stuff that needed to be ran through again. So when I ran through that stuff through again, most of it was chopped down to, I mean, some of it was actually all the way chopped, but a lot of it wasn't liberated all the way. That's why I put that screen in there, drilled the holes. But when I ran that back through, man, it ran through the machine almost as fast as I could throw it in there. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, I'll run 2 pre-shredders above that and just have the granulator as a final chop. And the pre-shredders above it, I could use cheap blades, something that it just needs to tear that little bit of wire up. It doesn't have to be nothing fancy. And I got all the shafts, all the steel. I might go. I got a line on some hardened steel. And let me see what's going on over here. I think you should relocate to Texas. Yeah. Yeah, it is easier to store it. And let me tell you, a 5-gallon bucket of granulated wire, I think I was getting 180 pounds in the buckets. And a 55-gallon drum, I forget what it was ridiculous, dude. I couldn't even fill it up because I couldn't move it. You know, it's like well over, it's probably like a ton. Yeah, I know it's late. So anyway, so the waste of time, it's not going to be a waste of time, because when you're feeding the thing and you're just chucking wire in there, dude, those big piles I get, man, you go through it so fast. You wouldn't believe, like, if you're just constantly feeding that machine, how much it actually just starts chewing through it. This guy's talking about, great video. I have the same type of granular. You know, I'd love to see other people's granulators, man, and anybody that's doing anything, or if there's any suggestions, you know, I'm all for it. Yeah, this guy was talking about some type of um, exactly what he was talking about, but there's a million different ways. There's something on YouTube that I seen the other day that's actually pretty cool. It's for gold mining, and I think I'm going to buy one just to separate the last little bit of copper. Um, I don't know. I might. I would use a cyclone separator for plastic copper. Yeah, I plan on it, but mine's gonna have water in it. Um, Powerful and dangerous machine. You don't even know, bro. We held that phone. My buddy held that camera literally right over the granulator, and I just threw that copper in there, which was crazy because I was all geared up, and he was just standing there. And people were asking me about my wire stripper, like where did I get it, and the manufacturer. I have no idea the manufacturer. The closest thing I can tell you is there's some videos on YouTube with a Super B. That's what it looks like because I actually have all the guards for that thing. They're yellow and blue. I took all the guards off the first time it jammed on me. I was like, well, I'm not taking all this shit off every time this thing jams. And I learned a bunch of different stuff about why it jammed and how not to make it jam. Let's see here. Mike has it here on YouTube. He has a nice granulator. Mike, yeah, Romantic, if you can send me the link. I don't know how to bring it. I'd like to bring things up and go over. There's a video on YouTube. I got to find it and show it to you. It's a guy. I watched it years ago. And he's breaking down a transformer with a hammer. And me and the guy that worked for me showed it to me one day. He goes, "Oh, check this out." And I watched it. And I remember thinking, I was like, wow, that's pretty, I thought it was pretty cool because it was kind of the first way I ever broke down a transformer. My buddy showed me it. We broke it down with a hatchet. And then he goes, like brings back memories, right? And I was like, yeah, that's funny. And then I remember thinking, I was like, wow, if these guys can only see how I do it. And, the amount of transformers that I'm doing. Back in the day, dude, that machine was nonstop all day long, dude. It's just 3 minutes all day long. I'd love a rant on the key. Different. I don't know what this guy's asking. On key phrases with trade companies to speak. Oh, key phrases to speak. Is that what? I really wish I would have started a YouTube when I first started my doing the recycling because I learned so much and if you guys could have seen the first oil processor I had in my shop to make free diesel fuel, like all the neighbors thought I was going to blow the whole block up. And what I was doing back then with the transformers and how I would deal with what I call bastard transformers. Like most of you guys that do transformers out there, the only other person on YouTube I've seen do a lot of transformers, maybe like Romantic and another guy do a lot of the HID lighting transformers like me. They're not the same. They don't break down the same way. You either have to shear one side or break the weld off one side, and then everybody made fun of me because I called them a W, and everybody else calls them an I and an E. And actually, when I first started, I was going to make a machine, a press, to actually just do that shearing, but I didn't come across enough of them to make it like I was just like, all right, I'll just grind these. I get like 1%. All the ones, 90%, 99% of the ones I get run through my machines. So the ones that you guys get or most other people I see, they're from like equipment and microwaves, and I've never actually taken apart a microwave. Trade companies meaning electrician. Yeah. So I'm not too sure about HVAC or plumbing, but you really got to research the company and what they do. And then you got to, dude, you got to come with something different, hard. Like when I started, I was talking to them about the transformers. They were throwing them away, so it was easy to get them. But now everybody's buying them, dude. So the competition is stiff, dude. One thing that I'm lucky I luck out is I got a really good source. to sell them. Now, the prices are crazy. Over there in Texas, where I'm at, you're getting better prices than me. But like the prices I get around here are better than anybody else. Like I get the scrapyard prices, and it's crazy. Everything's supposed to be running off of Comex. So how is it so different? But anyway, I actually had a sheet. I had like a spiel that I would say, and in the beginning, because when you call a company, say if you're cold calling, that's how I got most of my customers. If you're cold calling, um, it's a gatekeeper. The secretary, she's keeping you from getting in there and soliciting your shit. So you have to. What I would do is ask them a technical question, like, "Yeah, do you guys do any type of HID lighting, or you do lighting maintenance, or something like that?" I forget what it was. Honestly, I haven't done sales in like 10 years. I did like maybe 6 months of sales, and I got so much customers. And then after like just the sales, it was referrals. Man, you don't even know how many times I got a call. Hey, this guy gave me your number. You offer this service. Yeah, up on site. And when you're doing like a big, like a relamp, or like they're changing out all the lights to LEDs or upgrading, the electrician doesn't want to deal with all the old lights. They're making all their money on the new lights and the installation. Scrap is just like bonus or in their way half the time. You know what I'm saying? Like the big company, dude, they're like, we need to pay for a dumpster and get rid of this stuff, or this guy's going to come take it for free, or pay us some. You know what I'm saying? Um, Keep up the hard work. Turn me into a scrapper. How much do you make a week average, dude? I don't. Sometimes I don't work for weeks at a time, dude. I like stopped working 5 years ago on like a regular basis, dude. I don't even call nobody. My phone just rings, dude. And if it doesn't ring, I don't work. I got other things that I like doing. It's like a hobby. I live like a hobby, dude. 4,200 pounds, 55. Yeah, that's for the chops to be. Um, it's hard to find scrap up here in NC. Is that North Carolina? See, that's another thing. Dude, my location, my geographic location. So here in South Florida, most of the population is condensed to basically by the ocean. The first, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 miles to 10 miles, I guess. I don't know how far back, but it's dense. You know what I'm saying? So there's tons of lights, tons of shopping centers, plazas, Publix, a Walmart, anything like that. They have to mandatory keep their lights on because it's a liability if someone gets raped, mugged, or carjacked in the parking lot. Um, so if they got one light bulb out, they're going to send a guy out there in a bucket truck, whatever it costs to go fix that light and make sure it's on. And I live in the lightning capital of the whole country. So shit, man, a whole parking lot could get blown out in a storm, dude. When I see the rain, dude, and lightning, I'm just looking at dollar signs, bro. You know what I'm saying? So if you're living out in the country, there's no way you're going to get, like, I grew up out in the country in New Jersey. We didn't have street lights. You know what I'm saying? There was no plazas. So there was no transformers. Like, I don't even know what the scrap would be like out where I lived in New Jersey. I'm from the Pine Barrens out in the country, so it's down here in West Palm Beach, dude. There's millions, and there's still, for everybody that lives next to like a big city, dude, there's millions of lights. And over the next 5 years, or I mean, it's going on. It's going to be going on for until they're all gone or whatever. They're changing the new LEDs, and the new LEDs, dude. Dude, I got a whole shitload of them right now over there. I was taking them apart today. Tons of them, dude. Brand new LEDs. The drivers down here, they're getting cooked in the heat. They're just not it. Everything's so cheap, dude. Maybe ask the boss if you can jump in. Down here, dude, they're like, they'll jump in like crazy. They ain't asking nothing. Unless there's like someone out there guarding it. Time to make some copper donuts. Billy Junkin Fool, is that the guy with the pull behind shear? That's awesome. I think that's crazy, dude. All right, look, let me see. So there was one other thing I wanted to tell you guys about finding the customers. Like, Man, that was hard. Thinking back on that, dude, I probably got hung up on 95% of the time, dude. But I didn't miss a beat, dude. Let me tell you something. When I hung up from that, if they hung up on me, whatever, dude, I got a rule, and I still keep this rule to this day. When I'm breaking down them lights, dude, 5 seconds. You're on to the next task, dude. We ain't got time to waste time, dude. Listen, I would hang up the phone. I'd be on that next number, dude. Call them. Done. If they wanted me to send them an email, I'm on the phone with the next person, sending the last guy the email or the fax. You know what I'm saying? I spent extra money to have a fax line, an email, and everything, dude. Running off a wheel force generator, garden tractor. Oh, okay, like a little tractor motor. That's cool. Yeah, the one they got down there in Miami. I got another channel, um, which I was talking to Romatic about. They putting. I got one video on there. It's not even monetized. Like 38 subscribers, and they got videos on it. Like, dude, you're like making money off of me. Also, when you get customers, what do you say you're doing? You're going to do goes a long way in keeping customers and getting referrals. What do I? Wait a minute. What do you do? What I say I'm doing or going to do? Oh, all right. Look, I think my spiel went like something like this. So once I got past the that's the one thing I think I was gonna finish telling you guys. You got to get past the secretaries. This may sound like shady and deceiving, but like they're gatekeepers. They're there. Oh yeah, you're a scrapper. They're either gonna write your number and give it to them, or they're just gonna like not. You know what I'm saying? So that's hard. Um, if you ask them a technical question that the secretary doesn't understand, that's why I used to ask specifically, "Hey, do you guys do HID leg and maintenance?" Uh, it stands for high intensity discharge, which kind of covers all of them, like the high pressure sodiums, the mercury vapor. It's like a broad statement for those. That's why I call them HID transformers. Um, and then once I got past that, I would ask the guy the same thing. Usually it's a guy once you get past the secretary. I mean, I'm not sexist or anything, but that's the way it goes. Like you want the service, that's what you want right there. You're looking for the service manager because he's the one telling the guys go out in the field and do this job, go out and do this job. So the service manager is going to know, yeah, we got this much scrap coming back from this job, or yeah, I got a guy out right now um, changing ballast. I mean, I've had it where I was talking to the guy. I'm like, yeah, I buy the ballast. He goes, really? Hold on a second. And he got on his phone with his dude who was on site changing the ballast. Yo, dude, bring all this for now on. Bring all the ballast back. This guy's saying he's going to pay him for it. And how one of my first customers ever, dude. When I was see, that's another thing that helped me out. I was cutting concrete at the time, and I was out in the field every day. And I talked to everybody, dude, and all the field. One of our customers was like electricians. I'd have to come in, say they were either building a new building, and it was faster. This always blew my mind. Sometimes it'd be faster for them to put the building up and then have us come back there and cut all the mechanical openings for the AC or drill all the holes for the plumber or the electrician. So I knew tons of electricians and trade workers. You know what I'm saying? I've been with those dudes. Yeah, man. If you're up in like North Carolina out in the country, dude, it's hard, man. What you'd have to do is find your nearest city and call listen, the easiest way to find good contacts I found. I don't know, this was 10 years ago, but I'm sure it's the same way because they're going to pay money to advertise here. The Kelly Blue Book of Contractors, you can find AC contractors, mechanics, whatever you want in there. Look up your area code or whatever area code you want to go to. Even if it's an hour away, dude, if you can secure yourself some transformers, dude, you're looking at almost, if you do it right, you can triple your money on them or close to it. So anytime you can more than double your money, it's something you want to kind of go after. Uh, and I probably should be going after a lot more. I mean, I could offer more money, way more money than the scrap yards because of my production, man. That's the way it is. You got to be fast with scrap, man. It's got to come in, come out. A lot of people are like, oh, why don't you save that? And first of all, dude, when you got $3,000-$4,000 invested in a bunch of scrap, uh, and you're looking at the market, I don't know what the market's doing, man. I'm gonna buy it at this price, and I know what all the prices for all the shit I got is, and I'm gonna process it and try to sell it. And I want to gamble. I want to get my profit and send it right back out there to work for me. Why am I gonna let it sit over there in the corner? What's it doing? It's taking up space. I could be doing something else. I could put a machine there and break out some more videos and doing something different. If you're in North Carolina. Yeah, and that's another thing about the scrap is I'm looking for a specific scrap. Like I'm not looking for anything but transformers, really. But with the transformers comes everything that comes along with like an electrician, you know. But you really, man, I'm telling you, you got to be competitive, and to be competitive, you got to have a setup, man. You got to have your whole process. All right, what are you buying? How fast are you going to process it? If you're stripping wire, copper wire is tough, man, because you got to put out a lot of money. I don't to this day. Excuse me, I need some water. To this day, I don't like buying copper wire because of how much money you got to put out compared to the profit you get. I think it's something like you're going to gain a third, 1/3. No matter how much work you do to it, it's only worth so much. So, I don't think you double your money. I'm pretty sure you don't double your money. I'm pretty sure it's like a third. I usually, no matter what I buy, I always take 10% off for insulation, and I know how much copper I'm going to have immediately. Like as soon as it's on my scale, I'm like, okay, this is how much it's in there. Dude, using tin snips for cutting wires made all my wire cutters obsolete. Thanks for the tip. Yeah, you know what? this kid showed me that one day. He was like a little hood scrapper, dude. He was over there helping me out, and he just picked up my tin snips and went to work. And I'm like, damn, dude. He goes, yeah, man, I've been doing this for years. I'm like, bro, I've been slacking for years. What the heck? All right. The only thing about the tin snips, man, they're like scissors too, man. You got to hold them right. Sometimes you be cutting and it open up, but if you actually hold the tin snips right and like squeeze, not only squeeze this way, but squeeze kind of sideways, it's weird. They cut better. Um, this guy says it's like a hammer mill and a shredder at once. Okay, that granulator, um, I don't think it's made for chopping copper at all, dude. I actually talked to the manufacturer. See, I'm like, I'll call the manufacturer and I want to talk to the engineer or someone that's, like, I want the engineering department basically. I want the dude that knows all about the shit, built it, either sells the parts or builds the things. You know what I'm saying? I talked to him and he was like, oh, that's an older machine. He goes, yeah, man. He goes, you're chopping copper with that? And I'm like, yeah. He goes, that's crazy. But he goes, yeah, them old machines were tough. He was nice enough to send me for free the whole PDF breakdown on the machine. And the price gave me a quote on those blades. They're $800 a piece. But they actually make, because those blades have like soldered on hardened tips, they make different blades you can put on there where you can remove the tips, which I like. But my buddy that I got the mill machine from, stuff me and this guy coming up here soon. He was taking a look at it, and we think we can actually cut the blades that I have now to fit the new replaceable teeth, because the teeth that are on there, the guy, fortunately, after I told him not to, took those blades off, welded them together so they were all even, and then ground the outside of them. And I'm like, you pretty much just ruined those blades because there's no way you got that profile or that level all the way across, because there's a knife in there that you also have to adjust. I should have focused on that in the video. There's two knives, actually one on the back and the front. You have to adjust with like a feeler gauge to make sure your blades ain't hitting it. But you can actually adjust how big you're chopping the chops. When he ground it with the hand grinder, they're not even. Like if you were going to grind it, you'd have to put it on like a machine grinder or whatever you want to call it, to make sure they're flat all the way. He's got it all whacked out, a couple thousandths off from one end to the other. So I did what I could with the blade, getting adjusted where everything. And actually, it works pretty well. That's one thing that I didn't mention in the video. The motor that's on there, I had a girlfriend in there help me one time, and she was taking a copper and just like wadding up these big old baseballs and pitching it down in there. And the motor that originally we put on there spun twice as fast as the motor that's on there. And this thing was just chopping the copper up. Sounded way different. Anyone that has like a proper granulator, you'll know the sound. They're like really fast. And this thing is just like that stuff is moving slow. And you can actually see it in the video. It actually kicks up all that copper, and then it all falls down into the machine at one time. And if you're feeding it too fast, when all that shit falls back down into the machine, it'll clog it up, and you're screwed. And then while she was pitching the shit down in there, it clogged up one time. And, I thought I hit the button, and I did something. I normally would go immediately unplug it, and I didn't. And I went back to doing whatever I was doing, stripping wire. Like an hour goes by, and I'm just like in my shop. I'm like, God dang, it smells like burnt motor in here, dude. And I walked over there, and I unplugged it. The thing was hot. It cooked the motor. I bought a brand new motor for $600, but I didn't look at RPMs. So it's running half speed right now. So I got to buy another motor and then get it back up to operating speed. And it's going to chew through that wire twice as fast as what I'm doing. Well, not twice as fast, but a lot faster and more efficient. Plus, with a pre-shredder, and then when it comes out and goes up, everything's going to come out, and it's all going to go by itself from that point. Once I feed it into the pre-shredder, I'm not going to touch it again until it comes out dry somewhere. It's either, I haven't figured out the configuration where it's going to go, but demolition company. Want to YouTube rich? I want to make a grinder out of huge gears. A grinder? Like just to grind like through what? Anything? A car? Do you have a sluice yet? I actually have my whole sluice. The only thing I don't have, which I either gave away or I think I sold, is those pumps. I was using some cheap. Oh, you know what? Here, I'll show you the sluice. That's what I wanted to show you. I brought up the video of the sluice. I want to go over like what I built and what was going through my mind why I did that. Let me see if I can't get this camera. I don't know how to show you guys, so I'm just going to show you my laptop. All right. And I'll just pause and explain. All right, right here. What this is a Home Depot round fan, okay, that I took a piece of, what do you call it? Screen, like a screen enclosure. I draped it over there. I put a strap around that, made it super tight so it was flat. And then I put another strap of cardboard around there. And then somewhere on that cardboard, there's like a 1-inch lip with a square cut where I would take the fan, because it's a round fan, and I would tilt it back to its normal position, and all that copper would kind of flow down into a bucket. Actually, I have a custom, what do you call it? It was a 5-gallon water jug that I cut that fit perfectly and caught my copper. This is all experiment I did, man. I really wish I had a YouTube channel back then, because it would have been really cool. See, you can see the hole down there. And I cleaned that copper super clean. And it wasn't like that. The first chops I ever sent down to Miami got rejected at the mill. And my buyer in Miami got downgraded to number 2. they never, like, they still paint. Oh, wait. Okay, look. This thing here at the end, I built out of what the only way I can describe it is plastic cardboard. It's got the webbing of like cardboard. Check on your HGR website. The cell use granulators. HGR. Yeah. Okay. So about the granulator and the setup going to build. I know this granulator that I got now is not going to last because it's not made for it. But I'm going to make basically like a baker's rack with all this stuff to slide into, like the shredder and everything. It's going to be compact. It's going to be actually pretty cool. It's all going to run off of one. Wait, you see, I'm going to power all this stuff, dude. Everything. The whole. So what you can't see right here is once I'll let this run through because at the end it shows different. This is just a screen. Actually, you know what this is? This is a house screen for your rafters or your loft to let your roof vent. They were the perfect size. I got them at Home Depot. This whole thing was made out of such random parts, anything I could find. Okay, and the buckets, it, the same cardboard I put in the bucket because, let me see here. Is that better? I'll teach you StreamYard so you can share video and stuff. Yeah, dude, I need this is my first time, and we'll figure it out. You can see I got the carabiner together. It actually was pretty cool and worked amazing. So what I was thinking and why I did this is because when the copper was coming down the sluice, one of the main things issues I had was the copper floating on top of the insulation, even if it was loose, because of the way I dumped it in. See, if I would have let the copper trickle in, if I would have let it trickle in as fast as the granulator was spitting it out, none of that would have been a problem. I was dumping 5-gallon buckets into the sluice within a matter of 30 seconds, dude. 40 pounds of copper. I don't know, that's a lot, dude. And what I had here, I don't know if it's going to show you all the valves. Okay, so basically I had all of those pumps. I think I had 3 pumps at the end tied into like a manifold. So I could, all the pumps there was actually 2 different banks, because what happened was the first time I got rejected in Miami, I had them send me a breakdown, a chemical breakdown of all the stuff that was in there, so I can determine where the contamination was coming. A lot of it was number 2. There was dirt, straight up dirt from the floor, and steel and all kinds of stuff. Well, the dirt I solved with more water pressure. Okay. And I didn't have, even with the 3 pumps, I didn't have enough flow to run full pressure on the top sluice and the bottom sluice. So and it actually helped wash the copper more. So down out of this sluice, and it would almost like wash it twice. Separating the insulation and the granulates is to get the insulation floating and keep it floating, keep it moving. And that's what this second or the third sluice did. This one here and this one, pretty much I had literally copper bus bars and chains so that the copper would hit it and drop. And once it dropped, the copper liked to drag on the ground. This is why I want to do an acrylic sluice. And this is what I'm not going to go into exactly how I'm going to do it, but there's going to be adjustable things in there that are going to do things to separate the copper. It's actually going to be pretty cool, and different water jets down along. It's going to be pretty cool, and you'll probably be able to maybe separate more than 2 materials out through one pass, and be able to put the different materials in different areas. You know what I'm saying? So you run it down, separate the stuff, and then the other stuff you run down, and then you separate that stuff differently and send it to where you want it to go. And I plan on separating more stuff with the one I'm about to build. I have all this stuff, I don't know if y'all noticed, but this is my 55 ton press. I just kind of clamped this thing up on here and sent it, dude. It works so great. And if I would have had a way to transfer it in real time, like continuously transfer the granulates up into it, it would have been so much smoother than what I was doing here, dumping it in with this bucket. And that bucket wasn't light, dude. It's a lot of copper in there. And you can almost immediately see the water separating. And what I like about the water over the air separation is the dust. I don't like the dust. The granulator kicks out a huge amount of dust, which I'm going to solve with a vac system on the top side. And then on the bottom side, as soon as it comes out, it's going to be getting washed. But this was incredible. If I would have had more pressure here, it wouldn't have built up like that. That's when I would have problems, and the water would actually flow back off the back side of the sluice down below. But as you can see here, this is one of them bars I could power up with a valve. So I can turn this on and off, put more pressure, less pressure. This was a copper bus bar. So that pressure was basically pushing the copper down. It was on an angle. So once the copper was down, it wanted to stay down. And then right here, and you can't see it, but down in the sluice, there's magnets. Because sometimes, like a wire nut has steel in it, actually. Or you never know. It could be pieces of the granulator coming through. You know, that cage looks pretty worn out. So there's a magnet on the ground on an angle. So that, tumbled down past it, and any steel would obviously get stuck there. And this magnet here is up floating on top of the water. So if the shit's floating on top of the insulation, that magnet would get it. And basically all this stuff was to reduce the water tension and drop the copper. And it worked really good. And what really worked good at the separation was down here. When that copper went and hit that wall, and that stuff was blasting. I had that jet usually blasted straight down, and it created this crazy turbulence down there where the copper would kind of swirl and then almost immediately drop, and the insulation would float right down, dude. It was pretty incredible. And then these are, like, you can see they're off now because I don't have that sluice on. And then the next part did an amazing job at settling, because these two top rails, I actually got from one of my customers. They were extruded aluminum squares. I took a skill saw and cut the whole top of those long things out to make them that sluice. And then down here, there's another magnet there and a whole bunch of magnets here. And then I put this bar here. I forget how I cut the holes in it, but this was just spraying straight down, like a last minute to blast any floating copper straight down. And then anything after that, all that's insulation, but it's moving. It's hard to tell there, but that insulation is just tumbling along on top of the copper. It's pretty cool to watch. One of the other videos that I have actually might show a better representation of this. And I think one of the videos actually has it where you can actually see me building it a little bit. Because I did all this before I had a YouTube channel. I don't even know why I was recording this stuff. But I wish I would have had a recording of what I was doing before all this. Just me with the hose and me with one drum and the first little sluice. Like, it was a total learning process. It was actually really cool and fun. And I just like looking at like a pile of parts. And I want to put this camera back up here. Just taking a pile of random parts and making something cool out of it, repurposing. Like this stuff, a lot of this stuff here, I repurposed it. I did buy some of the stuff, but a lot of it I found. Most of the valves and the pipes I found somewhere. All right, let's look at a couple more comments, and then I'm going to wrap it up here. I know I probably went over like a million different things and rambled on here. But there was another comment. I just lost my whole stuff here. Yeah, I'm going to figure out how to get it on screen because there's some other things I wanted to show you. Comments. Okay. Would you use a shaker table like? Yeah, I would. Actually, I want one. Did you go shoot those ends yet? Shoot the ends? That? What are we talking about? Shoot the ends? Yeah, if that's what you're talking about. Keep up the good work. Yeah, good night. I know it's late, man. I was kind of nervous about coming on here, but yeah. You know what? Let me tell you something. That was the first time I ever shot that, the AR. I used to have years ago a, what do you call that? The Mini 14? Same exact gun Hannibal from, Hannibal from the A-Team would use. So I actually shot the 223 before, but it was the first time you ever shooting one of those guns. And it didn't jam, ran pretty good. My sights are have like 50 yards a foot low, so they got to be adjusted. But I did one 30 round, just one at a time, trying to find the site, and then I did half, trying to find it. And once I found it, I let it rip. And yeah, it was brand new, never used at a pawn shop. Uh, it was like 1,000, and then 700 for 1,000 rounds. And I bought two spare mags. They were like $30 a piece, aluminum. Came in a plastic one. I'm not too fond of plastic anything when it comes to that type of stuff. All of my handhelds are all metal. You know, I you got to fucking pistol whip someone, dude. Plastic ain't gonna cut it. No, I'm kidding. But you never know, dude. You might have to throw it at someone, dude. I want a big, heavy chunk of steel. I had a plastic Smith and Wesson 40 caliber. Only gun I never really liked. I didn't like the round. It was kind of odd, and then it jammed on me. So if it jams, it's got to go. My Sig P220 never jammed. The 50, I've actually never shot it. It took me forever to get ammo for it, and I had it with me up there with my buddies when I was taking the AR, but his goats they were okay until I let it rip, as fast as it would go. But I didn't want to disturb his goats. So let's see. Waiting for more videos. Yeah, dude, the videos. I would like to put out more videos, but man, it takes a lot of time for me to like shoot and think about how I'm gonna shoot. And I don't want to do the same thing like over and over. How many times I'm gonna show my transformer press or whatever. You know, True band ARs. I love going to South Carolina. Trudeau, the guy that looks like Castro's son. You ever see a picture of him side by side? Yeah. I don't think anyone has the right to tell another human being they don't have the right to protect themselves in any capacity. You know what I'm saying? That just, especially people that are actually holding uh, weapons. I'm gonna tell you, go over there and fend for yourself. Um, Love the channel. Thanks, man. Um, I got a question about Transformers. Honestly, if you are cold introducing yourself to a lighting company or an electrician, what are you paying for those and how do you approach? All right, first of all, I was already kind of going over that earlier in the video, but like another thing I used to do is approach people right at the gas stations or on site, dude. I'd pull right up to a job site, see the guys either get the name off the truck. I'd write down every single name. I'd take pictures. Everybody's got smartphones, man. Just take a picture, dude. Approaching them, like I was trying to explain earlier, dude. You got to come correct, and you got to know your customer, man. My electrician customers, I can talk to them about electrical stuff or anything, dude. I mean, I'll talk to any. Best tip I got from you: lay all the items out and do something over. Yeah, that's big. Okay, if you're doing a lot of things and you got the same on, once you pick up a screwdriver, a drill, or whatever, man, you want to keep that thing in your hand and do as fast as you can. That's where I keep 5 seconds, man. If you got a screw, by the time you get done, man, it shouldn't take you more than 5 seconds to get to the next screw and be spinning the drill or doing whatever you need to do to get it out and keep moving, man. Do them all. If you got 100 of them, lay them all out. It may seem like a lot, but when you get to that last one and you've done every single step and that last one's done, dude, you're gonna thank yourself for doing it that way. I'm in e-waste now. We're expanding. I never really got into e-waste. I was going, man. I got somewhere. I used to have a 55-gallon drum full of like all the gold stuff, big giant silver disconnects from panels. I used to save all that stuff, but Like it just seemed like a hassle, and to me, nothing ever made any more money than the transformer. So that was all I ever really cared about. I didn't want to waste my time with anything else, you know. And in the beginning, I forgot to mention this earlier when I was talking about not wanting to buy copper wire. Um, it was just like too much time. I didn't want to put up that much money and then have to deal with stripping it and all that stuff. Don't do it. It's a self-depreciating industry that engineering costs less and returns over time. Yeah, and the thing about getting into it like now, most of the stuff nowadays is made so cheap. Even look at the transformers, man. They're going to aluminum, dude. I find when I go out and buy transformers, more and more, it's more like 50-50, or more like 75% of them are aluminum. And when I buy aluminum transformers, I don't care. It's got one coil of aluminum. That's aluminum price to me. Don't care. The percentage ain't there. Copper prices, I'll pay more than anybody. Oh, and that's another thing. Back to the question about approaching the electricians. First of all, approach them. Scrappers. You know, a lot of us, and I do it all the time, dude. You know, you look a lot of times we look like we just came out the damn junkyard, dude. Bring a set of clothes with you, dude. When I go out and I buy stuff, dude, a lot of times I'll bring 2 or 3 shirts with me, bro. You go to one customer, you're gonna get filthy loading your truck, dude. Before you pay that guy, clean yourself up, change your shirt, so that when you pay the guy, hand him money, dude, you're not handing him, you know, dirty hands and filthy shirt. You know, I get filthy during the day, dude. That's why I wear black shirts, dark clothes, dude, because you're gonna tear yourself up. All my clothes got holes in them almost from doing scrap. um, you know, yeah. Always trying to look professional, dude. Back in the day, dude, I was all about. I mean, my setup looks horrendous now, dude. With I wash my truck all the time. Uh, I put a wad of money around. Yeah. So I don't know where's my money clip. I got a money clip with my cards in it. So I like to pull out, and that's one thing I tell them, like, yo, dude, I'll pay you cash right here on the spot. And you show them that you got a stack of $100 bills, dude. You know, and then you got to come correct with your price, dude, because it's cutthroat out there, dude. And then nowadays, everybody's like, you give them a price, they're gonna call around. You know, I got a customer every single time I go there, dude. He's like, "What are you paying for this? Oh yeah, this guy's paying that, and this guy's paying that." You know what I'm saying? So that's why I've said in other videos, know your location, man. Like, I travel a lot. I might be on the East Coast, West Coast, up north, up south, dude. It's weird. East Coast or West Coast of Florida, dude, they're paying 60 cents difference on copper. I went over there to buy insulated wire one time, and we were at, I don't know, $1.60 a pound, dude. And I was getting quotes over there for like 80 cents a pound. And I called my customer. I'm like, hey, dude, I called around, you know, because I always call around and match local prices. I was like, dude, I called around. They're paying 60 and 8. And I verified it. I'm like, are you talking about like number one insulated 500 MCM? You're paying 60 cents a pound, or some crazy, crazy low price for insulated wire. You know, yeah, that's what it was. I was getting 60 and 80 cents a pound prices. And I called my customer and I was like, listen, dude, locally, you can only get top dollar 80 cents a pound for this stuff. You know, over here, we're getting like $1.30, I think it was at the time. So I kind of met him in the middle, somewhere around $1. I mean, hey, you never got to pay more than you have to. You know what I'm saying? But I'm always honest. Hey, dude, I'm making this much, dude. This is where I sell. I'll show my ticket as soon as I show up here, dude. I came from usually that's what I like doing. Go sell some scrap, go off and buy scrap, because then you can just show right there. It's got the time. Hey, I was just there. This is what I got, dude. So they know how much you're making. They know you're in business. You know what I'm saying? Lead e-waste is more profitable per pound. Oh, LEDs. Um, Now, when you're saying LEDs, you're talking about the little tiny, tiny diodes? Dude, I threw a shitload of them away today. Tristan Wolf? Is that what you're saying? The little individual LEDs? The diodes. Yeah, okay. Dude, you know what I do with those? Because a lot of times they're glued to an aluminum, like a piece of sheet metal. I just leave it right on there, man. Because a lot of times it's a hassle trying to get them off. I send them as cast or sheet aluminum or whatever, man. You know, if it's taking too much time, if you're handling it so much, dude, you're wasting time. SMD LEDs. I don't know the difference. Like some of the LEDs that I get are big. You know, there'll be like a big old grouping, but they got these big old lenses. Like the ones I was doing today had these big old bubbles on them, man. They have to be heat synced. They're all heat synced. The ones I get, they're glued right to the back of a big. I got some nice extrusion today because they were screwed right to it. But that's one reason I was talking about Jason from Mount Baker Mining and Metal. I'm gonna have one of them hammer mills. I'm gonna try to make a small one. I actually had one. It's in the backyard over there. It's actually converted into like a granulator right now. I had nothing to do with that. Um, but I had a hammer mill. It was ran with chains, and I was actually running some brass stuff through it. I have a hammer mill. I'd like to see some videos of it, dude. Or did you make it yourself? Um, I'm trying to. You need the shaker table. Yeah. So there's the one from Mount Baker Mining and Metal. That shaper table's pretty cool. No, I bought it from Jason from Mount Baker Mining and Metal. How much was it? 4x8 one? 4x8. What do you mean? 4 foot by 8 foot or 4 inch by 8 inch? 32K for the whole system. Damn, dude. What are you running through it? 4x8, dude. That's you could throw some serious stuff in there, dude. So 32K for the whole system. Did you get a like a conveyor with it and stuff and a mag separator? I actually want to build, dude. I just got a whole bunch more electromagnets. So I've been wanting to build a mag belt because I get tons of. I haven't showed them on the channel yet, but I'm actually going to do a breakdown. They're electric motors from the what do you call it? The grocery stores from the conveyor belts. One of my customers does a lot of Publixes, and he's changed them out. I mean, dude, I get like 20 at a time, dude, and they're pretty cool because unlike a normal electric motor where you bolt the case and the shaft spins, you bolt the shaft and the whole case spins. It's pretty cool. Um, Copper bearing circuit boards, the trimmings and blanks, copper bearings. Oh, you mean like where they press out the whole thing for certain computer boards? Have you run your homemade stator blade versus the one you bought to determine blade wear? No, the homemade stator blade I actually made for another YouTuber, Romatic. And I just made that one just to see if someone could make it with just a random piece of steel. And he's got a video. Go check out Romatic on YouTube. He's got a video of it splitting. He said he damaged it when he tried to split a transformer, and it's my fault. I should have told him. I think it's the way those splitters work. I think it's very important that the splitter not move and wiggle around. I think he said his problem was, and he's not going to use it until he fixes that. But that's on my 55-ton Ranco. I'm be making a video on that really, really soon here because I actually have parts for it. It's going to make the thing awesome. Damn, I just lost my train of thought. I got excited thinking about the upgrade I got for that 55-ton. I can fix it, just haven't gotten to it. Yeah, that's cool, dude. Listen, on that blade, if you heat the tip up, you can probably just tap it down and regrind it, or just grind the whole thing back. Dude, I did it with a file. But there, dude, I ordered something from eBay and I never got it. eBay gave me my money back, but I bought something I was going to put on that blade. And uh, if you got soft steel like that, I'm going to make a video on how to actually weld a hardened edge on that. Just something you can do at the house. But anyway, you might want to ask Romatic. It looked like in the video that it was splitting pretty nice. Hey, when it split that stator, Romatic, it seemed like it just went right through it. It didn't damage anything until you did the transformer. You're gonna harden it. You can't harden it, dude. The only way. Listen, all right. I'm gonna tell you right now how I was gonna do it. Okay. If you're gonna need a TIG welder. Okay. You can do it super cheap. If you take a TIG welder and kind of grind it flat so you got something to weld to, get some old broken drill bits. It's hardened steel. And you just take the TIG welder and you just lay some beads. You got to do like 3 layers because the first layer or 2 is going to mix with the metal and kind of be like an alloy. But once you lay like a 3rd or even like a 4th bead, dude, you're going to get into the hard steel of that drill bit. And then you can just grind it back. And if you got, like you said, you got chips in it, you could just fill in the chips, It cut like an apple. Yeah, I figured it would cut that. And the thing about the blade, here's the deal. Like I was saying, it's got to be straight. When you're coming down, the only thing that ever really touches the steel is that first little point. And then it starts opening the steel plates. So then it's the blade only touching the copper. So just any really steel should cut that copper. Welding overload leaf spring to it and then reshape it. Okay, so here's what I was going to do. And actually, I'm going to do something, but on a much bigger scale like this. I ordered a hardened blade for a tractor. The replaceable tips, dude. They're actually relatively cheap. It's a hardened, wear-resistant steel. So I was going to order ones for his blade and make it, but they never sent it. I got my money back, and Romatic was making this other blade, and I was like, let me just make one for him before he kills himself. So what I plan on doing is taking hardened tractor blades and cutting them and welding them together and making some blades, or just finding cheap steel, man. Dude, I got this milling machine. Wait till you see the things I'm going to make with this milling machine. So my buddy, he's like a real deal, like jet engine aircraft engineer. He worked at Pratt & Whitney. That's where these machines came from. They were in the experimental department. So they weren't on a production line. They're not all some worn out, clapped out machines, dude. They only did little experiments with them, So they're real tight, good machines. And I got some really cool things. I don't know if you've seen it in one video when I was in Miami and I was showing those big, long pieces of extruded that were like, I think they're like 12 by 4. I just was down there the other day. I told them to save me 1 or 2. However immense. I'm going to see how much they are. I might buy 2 of them. But I got some really nice oh, yeah. Thank you, Justin. Facebook scrap metal recycling talk back. Yeah, you know what, dude? I couldn't find that Facebook group. Yeah, so if any of you guys noticed, if any of you guys are on the Project Scrap Facebook page and you notice that there's no picture there anymore, it's because I'm permanently banned from Facebook for life. And they literally took every single post, comment, like if I posted on someone's feed 10 years ago, or I was actually never even on Facebook or any social media or anything at all. I'm like a private type person, so I'm kind of shocked myself I'm on here going live. I didn't have none of that crap, until I started a YouTube channel. I started the YouTube channel for something that I was into before I was even recycling, and I haven't even put out there yet. It's going to be pretty cool. But I forgot what I was talking about, but the milling machine, dude, I'm going to be able to make stuff like for you guys and other people. And then that's like my more passion that I have than anything is I want to build stuff, repurposing shit, or building machines or whatever, welding, fabricating, dude. The happiest time is when I'm sitting there with a pile of freaking steel and a welder and just an idea in my head. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have any schematics. I very rarely, like, when I'm building stuff, I just kind of look at everything I got and then just build it, man. You know, my hero. Thank you. Um, like my crane that's on my truck, that's even as crazy and as crappy as that thing looks. That's one of my most like proud of things. I literally built that, like one of the first things I ever built for my company. I was like, man, I need a crane to handle this stuff. And to build a crane and have it rotate, move up and down, cable in and out, and rotate more than 300, even though I don't have a continuous rotation, I can rotate that crane more than 360 degrees to get all that stuff working together with just a pile of scrap, some motorcycle sprockets and chains, and hydraulics from when I used to cut concrete. And man, I wish I could have shown you guys the original setup I had on the boom of that crane. So the original setup and why I have two cylinders on there is I didn't have enough stroke on these cylinders that I had. I didn't have no money at the time. So I had these two cylinders, they were small. And what I did is I made a cam system on the end of the crane. So when the crane would sit level, so I designed the crane not to sit over the cab in my truck so I would never hit nothing with it. Um, when it was level, I had this cam system that was pushing the rams forward. And then what I would do is actually push the hydraulics all the way out to get the ram up so I wasn't picking up so much weight. But I would boom it up and then I would just push it with one hand and flip this cam back and it would lock the cylinders back more and keep the boom up. And then I could have all the way up. And it was crazy, but it worked. And it was another learning experience. And that crane's gone through so many upgrades. And I'll show the core that rotator's on. There's actually 3 layers in there. And I'll show how the actual outer core is cracked right now, all the way around pretty much. And it's just holding on by the two inner cores, which is super dangerous. But it still picks up 1,000 pounds continuously. Have you ever found, or have you ever find or work with in? I don't know what that is. No. Well, if you need help bouncing off any ideas, Procter and Gamble, isn't that a pharmaceutical company? Hmm. Nickel alloy, what's that for? I need to bounce ideas off you for a cheap faucet angle finder for stones. Something precise but simple to we can make. What are you, uh, what are you talking about? A facade? Uh, Household products. Tristan Wolf? You mean chemicals? Bleach? Stuff that causes cancer? Okay, listen. This is getting way, way long. And I'm totally lost where I was going with anything. And my computer just kind of like kicked me off. All right, listen. It's about 10,000 for a 10 by 4 sheet. 10,000 for a sheet of. I'm not sure what that is. You'd have to like send me a link or show me a picture or something like that, man. Um, Patrick, I'm not sure what you're talking about. Um, anyway, man, I'm really tired. I gotta get up in the morning and go sell some scrap. So if you guys come as far, I appreciate every single one of you guys over here. I see you in the comments. that stopped by. And, I'll try to do this like once a week. Originally, I was going to get on here and respond to all the comments because it's hard for me to sit down and like stop what I'm doing to respond to the comments. And I don't have like any notifications on for anything because my phone blows up. People are constantly calling me. I don't have time for other bells and whistles going off. So like I'll check the YouTube, a couple times a week and try to respond to everybody. All right, look, let me just take care of this. I hope you can catch your next live stream before you sign off. I'm gonna try to do it earlier. I just did it at night because I didn't know how it was gonna go. I was stoked when I saw you on live. Yeah, thank you. Badge of shame. Uh, don't scrap with Texas. I love the names. Some of the names in the comments, man, crack me up. Thank you. Yeah, man. I got so much more cool stuff I want to show you guys. And I don't know if I'm going to do it on the other channel I have or not, but as soon as I need to finish like one major project before I actually seek out to like find a shop that's going to cost me a lot of money because then it's going to require me to like hire people. And, I've just been through the ringer with disappointed by people. Yeah, thank you. I'm glad it went well. But I want to, as soon as I get in a shop, man, and I can really do what I need to do and work without like noise restrictions and, do everything, I'm going to show you guys some more cool shit. And then we're going to really get into what's the most efficient way. Because I see so many cool things out there. And I want to kind of compare a bunch of stuff that I've seen and maybe put some insight on some other things that will help people out, especially like, the small guy. Most of us are small guys just doing this stuff in their yard, and they want to make the most money out of the stuff. What's going to be the easiest way, cheapest way, And I know like I'm actually very fortunate with everything that I got. One, I'm able to build the stuff. And I just, because I'm always out and about and the people I know, and I come across so many crazy deals. And that's one thing I could tell everybody out there that's always looking, maybe you want to start scrapping. You got to have a not a cash dude. Let me tell you something. In the beginning, one of the hardest things for me, and one of the main reasons why I never bought copper wires, because I didn't have money. I literally started buying transformers with my rent money, dude. Because in 2008, when the market crashed, I went from working like 60 hours a week to like 20, and that's what kind of got me into the recycling thing. I needed money, and yeah, I lost my train of thought. Anyway, listen, I'm tired. Thank you guys all for coming here, man. I'll do another live stream soon and be a little more coherent and kind of set some things up. And maybe Romantic, if you can help me with getting it set up so people can see what I want to point a lot of stuff out on the screen and go over a bunch of more stuff with you guys. So if y'all come this far, thanks for watching. I appreciate every single one of you guys that subscribe to my channel and watch my videos. And I promise you, y'all haven't seen nothing yet. So stay tuned, and we're going to have a lot of fun, and we'll learn a lot together. That's the main thing, man. I want to learn a lot of stuff with you guys. So take it easy. Yeah, thank you all, guys, man. And y'all have a good night, and we'll do another live stream a little earlier and get some more people on here. Take care, guys.